Alright, I just got the screws out. Let's see. And that neck came loose. I'm not sure how tight a pocket it is. Oh, it's not tight at all. Oh, and there's already, oh, a big shim with a small shim underneath the edge, like that. Ooh, that tells me that it may be canted. The bottom is smooth, so somebody's scraped off all the sharp edges. I noticed on the WESTCREEKs they have one hole which is drilled out properly, actually a little bit oversized, and the other ones are not. And I think what they're doing is using the bigger hole to hang the body, instead of putting that bigger one that some of the other ones do in the middle. They're using this neck hole to hang the body when they're painting. So the pick guard is cut well back from the neck pocket edge. It's flush here, but it's well back over there. Now it looks like it's very flat. I just don't know if it's deeper on one side than the other. Let's see. Okay. No, it's not. Well, actually it is by about a 1/32. Which is probably why they put this little piece to level out the neck. .015, 0.16 inches. How many millimeters? 0.40 millimeters. And this is a piece of strapping that you put on packaging. Yeah, it's plastic strapping you put on packaging to hold whole boxes together. 0.75, and at 0.75 the neck still needs to be back even more. Oh man, I'm gonna have to think about that. I kind of think I've got the shim set. I used a piece of 0.46 millimeter plastic sheet, which seems to have done the trick for now. I'm able to adjust these saddles so that, you know, they're not at the end of travel. But what's happening is I put them down a little bit now. The 10 millimeter set screws that are in there are a little bit too long, and the tops of them are a little bit too sharp. Now sometimes they're long but they're not sharp, but these are. So that tells me that they're a different kind from the folks that have set screws sitting up the top that are not sharp. So I'm just changing the E and the A up top. I think that one's going to be okay. We'll see. So I'm putting in 8mm, readjusting the height, bringing it back up to pitch. I've done the intonation. I had to take that neck on and off a number of times. I did open the holes in the body for the screws to go through, and I waxed them to make them slip a little easier. And that leaves me with finishing this setup stuff. I did also clean up the nut slots a tiny little bit. There was a little bit of roughness in the slots, even though the heights were pretty good. I had to bring down the G and the B, and I haven't taken them fully down yet until I get this stuff settled over here. The truss rod adjustment and the action. So Jay man, Jason, I could understand why this guitar would have been returned and you would have ended up with it, because they send them all to you. Too many issues that the average Joe would not be into handling. So for WESTCREEK's first foray into the S-style guitar, this one is not terribly impressive, other than that the pickups sound good. The roasting on the neck is nice. The native motif is nice, although the finish is not as smooth and crystal clear as my Racer. And it's got roller string trees already, so alright, I'll have to fix the stain problem as well, because when you look at the board it stands right out at you, right there being lighter. Yeah, so it needs a good cleaning and whatever. And now that I've got my shim set for here, I'm going to touch up these nut down here, and let's see what we've got. I think the number, this came with a 9 to 46. Usually it's 10 to 46, but it's a 9. So that's a 9. This one was a 13. Let's see if the 12 will fit in that slot. Find the right bit. It does. Let's see what that looks like. That's pretty good. Oh, I still think it's higher than 16. Of course, the 18 is out, not the 16. Always the way, always the way. All right, let me check them all there. Okay, so the E, yeah, they're all just a little bit high. Let me give this B another touch. But for now, I think that's gonna do it. Yeah. That looks good. That looks good. So luckily the string didn't break with all the turning it up and down, up and down, up and down. So the next thing is going to be finally to, I guess, disconnect the whole thing. Oh yes, I want to go back to the amp and play it again before I completely disassemble it, now that I've adjusted the height of the pickups. But I'm going to do that just for me. And I'm not going to include you in that part because you'll get to see it in the very end. Okay, the time has come, and we are going to just do a measurement of these pickups. Where are we? We're going to be in that range. We're going to do a measurement just before we cut everything off and dig into the body and see what's under the hood. I weighed this thing at 7.8 pounds. Okay, turn all that up. The ridge is 15.71. The middle is 5.59 or 6. 5.53. Okay, so we know what they are. So for a 6 and a 5.3, these two sounded pretty good. 15.7, just for, you know, shits and giggles, as Dave says. Let's see what it is split on the humbucker. Oh, it splits to 8.2. I thought it might be somewhere around 7, but it's one more. But still, 8.2 sounded a little bit thin. We'll see if it's worth doing a frailing. If not, I'm just going to block off the split and just use the humbucker as a full humbucker, because it does sound much better that way. Okay, let's loosen all these strings. I have used them for everything I think I could use them for, except for, of course, the final adjustment when I put everything back together. That will be the new strings. And so we will cut. Ready? Okay, so none of them seem to be stuck. Oh, I was wrong. I was wrong. These were the Dario strings. Sun on the Beach. I thought they sounded a little bit too good for regular factory strings, but I was kind of thinking, wow, they upped their game, but no. They have all the colors. Damn. So, there goes a set of the Darios. Alright, so this has been sitting here for almost 2 weeks while I've been getting over my laryngitis, and so we're going to go back and take the neck off. Should be easier now that I've waxed those screws and opened up the pocket holes. Okay, so these were for the back cover. And so far, none of the ferrules have actually come out of the body. I don't know if they've glued them in or not. But anywho, let me show you what I did with my shim. Oh, it came loose. This is my shim. I cut this piece of plastic and I put it in place, and I put a small piece of Scotch tape there to hold it while I was trying to get the neck back on so it wouldn't move on me. Of course, that doesn't interfere with anything. So that's just going to stay there. The neck is going to need some more cleaning. But a leveling and a good, I'm going to try some of that Old English to see if I can even out the staining part. And we'll see where that goes. Alright, so we are going to move to bench 2 to look under the hood, because that's where all of the electrics work will be done. Did I put everything away? Yes. Alright, let's see what we find under the hood. Any surprises? Hold on. 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay. A little tight. A little tight. See if I can flip it over. Can I flip that over? Okay. Okay, yep, box switch. Looks like a 47 chiclet. Full size volume in the front. So we'll have to see what it is in the back. The jack wires are, there are no shielded wires inside of here whatsoever. Oh, looks like there's some kind of a shielding paint possibly in the body. Let's see if we've got any kind of a measurement in there. There is. Check the bridge. Give me a little piece of the bridge. There we go. Oh, look at that. The bridge is not measuring to the body. But it is to the electrics. Okay. That's good enough. Oh, guys, Alnico pickups. Not a huge plastic. SS 6020 XH neck. 6020 XH middle. 6030 bridge. Oh, these must be all Alnico pickups. Alright. First thing I'm going to do is disconnect the electrics. So this has to be the bridge wire, yep. So it is there. Oh, put it inside. Alright. Let's get off the jack. And it's free. That means I'm free? Yes. Okay. The body will go over on the other bench there. My desk, and then we'll be able to see. It would have been nice if they had put a 3-ply on the back like this instead of just a plain black plastic. I wonder if I have any 3-ply blacks left over from another guitar. That's something I should look into. Let's take a look at what they gave us under here. Oops. An A500K. So this one should be at least then a B. But did they go 500 or 250? snug anyway. Oh, there you go. Yes, a B500K. So that one is a good pot. I like how that one went. I think that one's a keeper. Because even though it's a 500, it sounded good with these pickups. It's easy to get off. So that one's a keeper, an 11mm nut. This one's a 10. So this one is definitely not. Oh, there's another interesting thing. Looks like they put a piece of masking tape on the shield braid with the black going to the case of the pot instead of a piece of shrink tubing. Another WESTCREEK shortcut. Alright, we will just rid ourselves of this whole thing to start off with. Let's just go with volume, and we'll just keep this A500K right out of the circuit altogether. I'm going to disconnect all the wires from this box switch also. Well, at least they twisted those, put another piece of tape there. I guess it's cheaper than the tie wrap. Alnico pickups anyway. They didn't cut corners on the really important part. That's the really important part. There's also no branding on that pot in there. I guess I could turn that around a little bit, but now I can take this off. And I will recover one of my schematics from another guitar that is either exactly the same as this one or is close, and I will redraw it to do what I want it to do in this one. And I've got a nice new blade switch to go in here. Anyway, let me go work on that and see what I can find for a schematic, and we'll be back.